Bobcat Goldthwait is our guest. Bobcat started as a comedian. We were talking about that. Letterman in the early 80s, now a filmmaker. But am I correct in saying that you once opened as a comedian for Nirvana?
Yeah, I did dates touring with Nirvana.
Mm-hmm.
That's like people like
how'd that go?
People pretty good. You know, you'd think the Nirvana fans weren't into comedy, but they really like the subtler stuff. But
fish guts. Yeah.
No, but like people were like,
I mean, that's considered to be comedy hell.
But I always like hearing
for a music act.
I always like hearing comics like, oh, you know, I got heckled. Oh, you know what? The waitress heckled me, or geez, they kept making drinks while I was on stage. It's like, really? Have you ever been hit with a teenager? Because I actually got hit with a teenager opening for Nirvana. Like, they successfully had hurled a kid out of the pit. My knees buckled, and I look at this kid, and he's frightened. He's like, ah! Yeah. I got hit with Bibles. I had M80s going off by my head and stuff.
Wow.
So I rappelled in nude from the roof of the Oakland Coliseum on New Year's one evening when I was on the road with them.
You rappelled nude?
Yeah. I was like,
how'd you not?
You have no shame, do you?
What about rope? What about rope?
No, I do have shame. You want to know why? I wore a hat. Like I have no problem with people seeing my junk, but my balding pate. I was afraid they're going, hey, that chubby nude dude. I didn't know he was bald. I had the In Utero wings.
You feel like they're going to notice your head?
Yeah. Well, thanks for the compliment. I had the In Utero wings on. It was we had been on the road, and it was New Year's Eve, so everybody had big plans for bombs and explosions to go off at midnight. And so I said, well, I'll rappel in nude. I like the fact that I just tell the story. Naturally.
Of course.
Like everyone does.
Well, I was the New Year's baby, so I said, okay, I'll rappel in nude. And I remember it was like Spinal Tap because we were backstage and they had built what the stage looked like out of cold cuts, and they put M&Ms all where the bombs were that were going to go off because it was midnight. Guys, really seriously, don't screw around. You could get blown up tonight. So wow. I'm naked, and they go to. I'll tell a longer version of this. Like Kurt had interviewed me at a college radio station before the band broke in where was it? Not Madison. It was in Ann Arbor. And we become friends. And I had listened to the record because he gave me Bleach. I'm like, I said to Tony, I'm like, rock and roll sucks because these guys are pretty good and we'll never hear from them again. And then, smash cut a year and a half later.
Right.
Would you guys shut up or you're never going to see Nirvana? Bombs going off on my head. But so I know it is all weird. It's weird to me too. Like people go, "What?" But Kurt was a fan of my stand-up, and that's like finding out that, like, you know, what I mean, like Hendrix was really into Buddy Hackett. You know, it's just weird. But so
which he was.
But you know, it's funny. Like Kurt would actually bust my chops. He goes, "Hey, there's a lot of old stuff tonight." You know, like he actually knew the stand. Yeah, so it was pretty funny. And I'm like, dude, write a new album. So I said to him, I said, you know what, F you, I'm tired of being a scatter, you know. That was Elvis's chimp, you know. I go, I'm tired of being scatter. Go call Pauly Shore and have him open for you. And he liked that kind of stuff. And so they go, look, we're going to signal you, Kurt, at midnight, and you'll just count backwards from 10 or 5 or whatever. And so I'm up in the roof. And then they go, it's midnight, so I start lowering myself down. I'm holding my whole weight, nude, about 150 feet off the ground. And he looks around and he goes, he looks up, I'm giving him the brown eye, you know. And he looks up and he goes, hey, Oakland, you want a drum solo? My arm's about to give out. And then finally, he just goes, one, Happy New Year. And I shot down so fast. I had rope burns on my ass. And I landed behind him. Boom. And, I came down so fast he didn't even see it because he looks back up and he's going, Pauly?
So he fell.
Because I said, you should get Pauly Shore to open for you. So he started calling me Pauly.
Oh, man.
Pauly. So I go to get my clothes, which is supposed to be, but that, of course, no one had my clothes.
Of course not.
And everywhere I would have stood, there was bombs going off. So I've seen photos of it. I just look like the noble warrior lost in the mist or something. You you're just nude. I'm just standing there.
No.
Yeah. You know what? I would say this in the future. Give it a little tug if you're going to do something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank me now, for the young comedians who might
Absolutely.
repel in nude during a rock show.